If you were sitting here in my studio with me today, maybe with a cup of coffee or some tea, this might be the conversation that we had. People sometimes wonder why knitting shows up during times of political unrest. But the answer is simple. It always has. By the end of this video, you're going to have a historical perspective. I hope you enjoy. Long before knitting machines, when knitting happened with just sticks and bones, even then, people understood that what they make and what they wear can quietly make a statement about the world we live in. In the first century Rome, when slaves were freed, they were given a cap, and the cap was called a pileus cap. It was a symbol of personal empowerment. It was a soft woolen cap, and anybody who saw it, they knew this person's liberty was permanent. They knew that the person who wore that cap had a symbol of freedom. Fast forward a few centuries. During the American and French revolutions, red caps, they appeared everywhere. You found them in artwork. You found them on ceramics. They were in textiles, woven into fabric. They were knitted. They were in publications, even political cartoons of the day. Phrygian caps, the red was not subtle. It was meant to be seen. It was meant to stand out. In fact, you can find examples of these red caps depicted in early versions of the U.S. Army seal, and the U.S. Office of War in 1775 had a Phrygian cap on their symbol. In addition to that, on the seal of the United States Senate in 1885 is prominently displayed a red cap with the word liberty on the cap. In early America, women resisted British control by refusing to use imported cloth. They spun their own fibers and either knitted or wove their own fabric. And out of that fabric, they made their own homespun garments that they wore in public. That choice, what to make and what to wear, it was political. It made a statement. It was meant to make a statement. During World War II, when Norway was under Nazi occupation, people wore red knitted caps inspired by their traditional folk hats that they wore all the time. Ultimately, the wearing of these caps and the caps themselves were banned. People were arrested and put in jail for a simple hat that they wore on their head. It became illegal because it became a symbol of resistance. In more recent decades, knitting has not disappeared from public life. It has shown up knitted around tanks in Denmark. It's been laid out piece by piece by a collective effort in Britain to lay out a knitted river. Collective efforts stitched into questions about labor and about climate. The tools are the same. 2 sticks and a ball of string. But the reasons change. In 2017, millions of people knit pink hats. Whatever one thinks about that moment politically, it can't be denied that historically it was remarkable. Mass participation, a unified collective statement, making a mark on our country's history, handmade, visible. So, what does a red hat mean today? I'm not here to tell you. What I can say is that making things that become statements, that become historical, have always been part of civic life, especially for women, especially in quiet ways, and especially for change. This little hat carries centuries of hands before mine, and whatever it represents, that belongs to the people who make it, the people who wear it, and the people that see it. Thanks for coming by today. I'll see you next week.